everybody, welcome to that vinyl channel. I'm that vinyl guy Boz. So this is going to be a vinyl tag. Now, several years ago there was a channel in the VC. She mainly did soundtracks. She's up for a few years, and she actually did a soundtrack vinyl tag on her channel, which I participated in, I believe, twice. But then she decided to give up her channel, and she actually deleted her channel. So it's been a couple years now since anybody's done, at least as far as I know, a soundtrack vinyl tag. I know several people had done them when she had it up, and it was a lot of fun to do. So I figured this year I'm going to go ahead and take the reins on this and do a soundtrack vinyl tag for 2024. I'm also very big into soundtracks. I have a very extensive soundtrack collection. So I decided why not go ahead and do this vinyl tag. Now, a lot of the vinyl tags out there have 2024 questions. I think that's way too many. I got this down to 13 questions, which I still think maybe a dozen is probably good, but I got 13 questions here now. These questions I'm going to put down below in the description. And I know some of these questions you may not be able to answer. That's fine. Just go ahead and skip those. Have fun with it. Think outside the box if you have to. It's just a fun way to dig into our soundtrack collection and answer some of these questions. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Question number 1 is favorite movie soundtrack purchase of 2024. Now, this does not have to be something that was released in 2024. It can be, but all it had to be is purchased in 2024. It can be used, it can be new, it can be soundtrack from the 70s, 80s, whatever, as long as it was purchased in 2024. So for me, I picked up this earlier last year. I think this was the first time on vinyl, even though the hype sticker doesn't say that, but I do believe that's the case. This was issued actually in the UK. I could not find this in the US. No US sellers had this. I had to order this from a company in the UK. It's one of my favorite comedies. It is Blazing Saddles. It is on black vinyl, and it's a great, great movie. This is the Warner Brothers Archive Collection 40th Anniversary Edition on 180 gram black vinyl. Awesome movie with Gene Wilder. I was very happy to go ahead and pick this up. So question number 2. To date, the very last soundtrack that you purchased in 2024. For me, that would be this one here. This one here is actually a Japanese pressing of Superman 2. It has a different cover than the US pressing does. I actually prefer this cover. It's really, really cool. Unfortunately, it did not include the obi, but it does have the inserts. So sometimes you can pick up Japanese pressings for a really good price if you don't mind that it doesn't have the obi. It can save you a few dollars. I'm more interested in the quality of the vinyl. Personally, of course, if it has the obi, that's also a plus. But I'm more concerned about the overall quality of the cover and the quality of the vinyl than I am the obi strip. But I was very happy to get this soundtrack. Again, this is a Superman 2. All right, question number 3. A soundtrack that you own more than one copy of. So I picked this one here. This is Walt Disney's Songs from the Jungle Book. One of my favorite Walt Disney movies. I remember seeing this in the theater. Great, great movie. So that's this copy here. This is an original pressing of it. But I also have this pressing here, which is also an original pressing of it. It is also the songs from the Walt Disney's Jungle Book, but it is the Spanish language version of it. So it's very cool. Both of them are on the Disneyland label. This one's on the yellow, and this one's on this reddish label. But this is the Spanish language version of it. But it's still the soundtrack or songs from the movie Walt Disney's the Jungle Book, and I think it qualifies for this question. So there you go. So number 4, pick a favorite genre. Show a soundtrack from that genre. This is one I've gotten. Actually, I think I got this in 2023. I still haven't gotten around to open it yet. But I'm big into sci-fi, big into Star Wars, Star Trek, all that kind of thing. And this here is the soundtrack to Rogue One. It's got a nice image of Darth Vader on the back. Really great movie. So there you go. That's Rogue One. Question number 5. Show a score in your collection from any year. So I picked this Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure score. This is not the soundtrack. This is the score. I have the soundtrack as well. This is the score. They issued it on this awesome purplish, orangish, and reddish colored vinyl. But it's an amazing movie. One of my favorite movies. I love Bill and Ted, and but this here is the score for the movie. Number 6, going by pressing date, what's the oldest soundtrack that you currently have in your collection? So by pressing date, I mean the actual year that the actual vinyl record was pressed. So this here is the oldest record. This is from 1956. This is the original soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz. Again, this is a 1956 pressing, which is, I don't know if this is the very first one. I know it's one of the first ones, but awesome. It's original. It's kind of interesting up here. It says original cast. Generally, original cast is generally for plays, as far as I understand. Whenever I have other original cast albums in my collection, and it's always for plays, not for films or movies. So it's kind of interesting. Up on the left here, it says an original cast album. So, but it is a soundtrack to The Wizard of Oz. It's on this MGM label, on this yellow MGM label. So, but this is the oldest record I have in my collection by pressing date. All right, number 7. I Feel Pretty. Show a cool color or splatter vinyl record from your collection. This is The Dead Don't Die, which is a comedy spoof on zombie movies that came out a couple years ago, starring Bill Murray and Adam Driver. I really like this movie a lot. It is awesome. I know online some people don't like it. A lot of people take their zombie movies seriously. I have a friend at work that's very much into zombie movies, and I can't get him to watch this because it's a comedy and it's making fun of zombies. And like I said, he takes his zombies very seriously. But it's a very good movie. It's a very fun movie. And they break the fourth wall several times. I know for some people that's also a turn off, but I have no problem with that. But this here is the Bloody Le Mans color vinyl on this green and red splattered vinyl. So I know this is a limited edition of it. So, but it's very cool. Again, this is The Dead Don't Die. So moving on to number 8, show any 7-inch soundtrack related vinyl. I chose this one here. This is from the also Bill and Ted, but this is from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. This is the 7-inch single to Kiss. God gave rock and roll to you, which was in the movie. Actually, they call it the official name is God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2. I don't know why they did that, but it was issued on the Interscope label. I'll take it out here so you can see the 7-inch. That's what it looks like. But it's a great Kiss song. It's a cover of God Gave Rock and Roll to You. I think that's by Argent originally, right? So, but it's a very cool 7-inch single. So number 9, favorite soundtrack artwork. Now, this can be anything. This could be inserts. It could be the cover. It could be even the vinyl if you want to. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I got this a couple years ago. This is Black Mirror. This is Black Museum, which is an episode of Black Mirror. I'm pretty big into the series Black Mirror from Netflix. It's like a Twilight Zone type show. A lot of dark themes, but it's done very well. The stories are very well. And this is one. If you want to get into Black Mirror, if you haven't, I recommend start with this episode. I don't remember what season it is. I think it might be season 4, I think, but it's called A Black Museum. But anyways, that's the artwork on the outside, which is very cool. And when you open it up, it has this artwork on the inside, which if you watch the movie, it makes sense to you. But I mean, it's just some great artwork that's going on here. So I really like this a lot. And on the back, it has even more artwork. Again, it makes more sense to you if you've seen the movie. I'm saying movie, it's a TV show, but it makes more sense if you've seen the show. but it's a great. I really like this, the artwork on this. And so there you go. This is Black Mirror, and this is from the episode Black Museum. On to number 10, all I have here is original and remake. So what that means is show a soundtrack that you have an OG or an original pressing, and then you have a reissue or a remake of it. So what I have here is the 1973 soundtrack to the movie Westworld. Excellent movie. So released on the MGM label. Again, in 1973, this is a MGM presents Westworld. So, but it's a great movie if you haven't seen it before. And then a few years ago, they came out with the Westworld series. I think it was on HBO series Westworld, based on it. So this here is a reissue. I do have season 1. It is on black vinyl, but that's fine. But this is the reissue Westworld season 1 from HBO, and I do have season 2 as well. So a BAM issue of it. So again, also on black vinyl, but again that's fine. This design is important to the season 2. What goes on in season 2, and they put it on the label, which is really cool. But so this here is the season 2 soundtrack to Westworld. So that's my original and my reissues. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to number 11. Show any 90s soundtrack. It can be a current reissue of a 90s movie, or it could be actually put out in the 1990s, or one that you wish you had. So I have this. This here was put out in 1998. This is the soundtrack to Armageddon. So excellent movie. It was put out on I can't show you both of them, but it was put out on red vinyl. And but it's a great movie. I really like it a lot. Again, this is a 1998 movie, Armageddon. Okay, so we're getting down to the last 2 here. So number 12, Bargain Bin Find soundtrack you got on the cheap. I got this one a couple years ago. This here is got this in a dollar bin. So this is Around the World in 80 Days. Michael Todd's Around the World in 80 Days. Federals was a store that was around a long time ago. So it still has their sticker on it. So, but it's a great soundtrack, and I think I remember seeing this movie in the drive-in theater when it came out when I was a kid, or maybe I don't know when this movie came out, but I remember seeing the movie in a drive-in when I was a kid. So, but anyways, I picked this up in a dollar bin. So again, Around the World in 80 Days. And last but not least, so this one here is show something soundtrack or movie related that is not a standard vinyl record or a CD. It can be anything. It can be a DVD. It can be a poster, a book. Just go wild and think of something. So this is a movie that came out in 1976, and this is on a CED disc. So this is still sealed, by the way, which is very cool. But this came out, but this actually was produced and sold in 1981. But it's for the movie Network. But this is I read it here, a capacitance electronic disc, which is a competitor to the VCR back. RCA spent a decade, a lot of time and money on this format, and it pretty much died within 5 or 6 or 7 years after it being released. It pretty much could not compete with VCRs. But basically, this was a vinyl disc. So in this caddy, there's actually a vinyl disc, okay, like a vinyl record, but it has, but it holds a movie. It's video. It spins very, very fast. I think 200 or 300 RPM or something like that. So, you had to have a special player for it, of course. But it's very cool. So that is going to be the vinyl tag for the soundtrack vinyl tag for 2024. Again, have fun with it. Think outside the box if you have to. If something is on here that doesn't pertain to you, you just go ahead and skip it. It's not a big deal. So, but I do want to thank everybody for watching today. And that's it. I'll see you all next time.